Good morning. I am outside. I'm seeing the sun. I'm journaling. Everything's so good in the world. All growing up, I have always wanted to be a journaling girl. Ever since I watched Vampire Diaries, I feel like that just solidified it, that I wanted to have journals. I wanted to be like Elena Gilbert and like be sitting there on my windowsill just like, you know, journaling about my day. Also, if you're like me, you would buy a ton of journals, okay? A ton of them, and yet never fill one. I did that. I did that for years, and I think I have finally found a method that not only has just absolutely changed my life, but it's fun. And on a more serious note, it has completely made me more in tune with myself. It has helped me have inner guidance and wisdom. I thought for this video we could get cozy. I could sit in my sweats. I could pop open a cold one and we could get into it. Let's get into it. Okay, so really fast, I just want to talk about the ways that I've tried to journal before, why it didn't work for me, and why I think this method has worked the best for me, as well as made me super consistent. So I feel like the first type of journaling, when you think about journaling, this is the journaling that you're probably thinking about. Open your journal and you're like, "Dear journal, this is what I did today. I ate this, we did this, and yeah, good night." Gosh, like that, one, that's the way that Elena Gilbert does it. And two, I've tried that before and I can't get into it. Unless it's like it was such an eventful day, then yes, I will write it down. I think it's so good to write down your memories and to record them. But it seemed redundant. It didn't seem like it mattered that much to me. I'm taking videos and photos of my day as well, and that's just quicker and easier to remember things. So unless it's like a huge thing, I usually would just not be consistent. I wouldn't journal like that. Fun fact, this is the journal that I got when I was 11 years old. On my 11th birthday, I literally begged my dad to go to Barnes & Noble and I wanted to pick out a journal because, like I said, I have always wanted to be a journal girl. My first ever journal entry is, "Dear diary, this is my journal. This is my birthday. I had to go to soccer practice and after my dad took me to Barnes & Noble to get you." Oh, it's kind of cute. It is cute. And like when you think back to it, these recorded memories are cute because then you see like how you talked during that time. So I'm not saying to not do that. I just was never consistent. Okay, on to the second method that I have tried. And if you like this method, great. I just didn't work for me as much. I tried journals for separate things. I still kind of do this, but my method's a little bit different. So this journal was my dream journal.
He ruined my dream journal! I did not!
And then I would have like an everyday journal, and then I would have like a diary for my secrets, my deep dark secrets. All these journals for all of these things. I just feel like I would be like, oh my gosh, well if I don't have this journal for this thing, then I don't write at all. And then I would carry so many books around, all of the things. One, I will say the dream journal is fun to have, but it just wasn't for me. It wasn't quick, easy. It didn't do all the things for me. Now, I want to get into my method. It's not my method. I keep saying it's my method. It's not. I have added things and I've subtracted things, but this is made by someone else and I love it so much. About 7 months ago, I saw this book. I've heard about it before. It's actually a course, and I took the plunge. I bought the book. I didn't finish the course. Okay. I didn't finish it, but I'm going to, and I'm gonna make videos about it. So let me know if you want videos about this. It's called The Artist's Way. It is a 12-week course on creativity and spirituality. If you know me, I love creativity, spirituality. I love talking about it, as well as productivity, health, and wellness. That is all of my things, okay? So Julia Cameron is the one that introduced me to this. It is called The Morning Pages. This is the method that I've stuck to. I absolutely love it. highly recommend it. So the morning pages essentially is as soon as you wake up, you are in a state of calmness. You haven't checked your phone, nothing's going on yet. That's usually when you're the most clear and kind of getting out of your dream state, and that's where a lot of the magic happens. She says to just roll over, grab your journal, and start writing. It doesn't have to make sense at all. It literally could be absolute gibberish, and the point is to do a brain dump, if you will. Just a dumpage of all of the stuff that is in your brain. And some of that's not gonna make sense. I think what's cool is she says there is no wrong way to do morning pages. These daily morning meanderings are not meant to be art or even writing. I stress the point to reassure the non-writers working this book. Writing is simply just one of those tools, and pages are meant to be simply the act of moving the hand across the page and writing down whatever comes to mind. Nothing is too petty, too stupid, or too weird to be included. The morning pages are not supposed to sound smart, although sometimes they might. Most times they won't, and nobody will ever know except you. Nobody is allowed to read your morning pages except you, which that would be bad, geez. And you shouldn't even read your morning pages for the first 8 weeks that you do your morning pages, because it's not even the point, because then your inner critic will come out and ruin the whole thing. So why? I think if I get down to why this method has worked for me, it is flexible enough for me to not feel like I have to do it any certain way. I'm also chasing a lot of creative endeavors. Like this job, content creation, is creative, and all the things I want to do is naturally creative. So I'm always working ideas. I'm always working things. I'm always having things. And when I allow myself to just write down whatever comes out of my brain, some of that is pure gold, pure genius that I would have never known I had, because you don't give yourself the time and the space to like work through it unless you do something like morning pages. It helped my creativity. It's super flexible. And when it comes to productivity, I feel like it has helped me become more clear in the day. There's a lot of things to do in the day, but I feel like at the very end of my morning pages, I write down 1 or 2 things that I have to do. And this is kind of different than from what other people do for morning pages. It kind of just resets my brain, and I'm allowed to be clear on my intention for the day and go about my day. So I think what's cool with morning pages too is like, I used to think writing 3 pages, because that's the rule, 3 pages. I used to think writing 3 pages was like so much for a journal, and now I've almost filled this thing up. Look how thick this is. And I've almost filled it up with ideas, just everything. So this has become my absolute pride and joy. It's almost like a self-discovery journal, if you will. So a few of the other methods that I do alongside morning pages to help me be more productive, more creative, just freely flowing is I have 1 day a week where I sit down at a coffee shop or really anywhere, and I think about the week ahead, and I have 3 categories. It's almost like 3 labels of what you have and who you are. So who am I? I am a wife, I am a content creator, and I am a friend. So then I like doing what are 3 things I can do in each category to fulfill that for myself. So 3 things I can do as a content creator. I can film my YouTube video, edit my podcast, and reach out to my community. So I think that's what's kind of cool is, although I have morning pages and all these things, I also have weekly structure in between my morning pages to make it more systemized. Also, I have been getting coached. I have a life coach, which she's actually my mom and she's amazing. And all of my life coach sessions are in here too. And I can go back to those sessions that I have with her to almost just help me in my self-discovery. Now that you have just the framework of this type of journaling, I just remembered I have yet to give one of my favorite reasons and tips as to why I do my morning pages and why it helps for my spirituality. Okay, so I don't open up a ton about like spirituality and things I believe in on the internet, because I think that's a very personal thing and everyone has different opinions, and yeah, it can just get kind of funny. So I feel like this is a perfect way to get in touch with yourself. So even though I call it spirituality, that's what I believe spirituality is getting in touch with yourself, being in tune with yourself, how you feel. And this is one of my favorite ways to do that. Okay, so what I do sometimes after my 3 morning pages, if I'm still feeling like stuck or I want to work through a problem, it's usually when I want to work through a problem that I think about this. I start talking to my higher self. I literally address them as either another name, it's almost like an alias or like your higher self, or you can address them as your name. I will freely write, okay? I won't stop writing whatsoever, because as soon as you stop writing, you have your inner critic come out and just critique you, and that is not the point of this. So I will sit there and I will be like, hey Brighton, from a higher timeline, just a better, healthier version of myself. I'll be like, hey Brighton, I am thinking about doing this. What do you think about that? And then I'll just start writing. And like, I will write as if they are answering the question, and not like I'm answering the question for myself. I will write as if someone else is giving me the advice to myself, if that makes sense. I didn't even make this up. I think the first time I ever heard about someone doing this is, if you guys know who Alex Hormozy is, which is funny because Alex Hormozy is not really someone I think of for like a spirituality type of content, but he says that he calls him his higher self, or this higher being, Solomon. I don't know why, that's just the name that I think he called him. And so any business deal, any problem that he's having, he'll ask Solomon for advice. So I do the same thing. If you are religious, let's say a Christian setting, you could ask God, you could ask universe, source, does not matter. It allows you to zoom out and not think so closely to the problem, because I mean, think about it. It's so much easier to give someone else advice on a problem than it is for you to give yourself advice and then follow through on that advice. Go ahead and give that a try, because it has really helped me. Also, I am so open to productivity hacks and journaling and all of these things. So if you guys have a favorite journal prompt or journal method, productivity method, drop it in the comments below, because I would love to even do a series of me trying out some of your guys' routines or ideas. I don't know, I'm just in the pursuit of making my morning and night routines and my health and my wellness as good as possible. So I'd be so curious to see what you guys have to say. That almost concludes this video, but I'm gonna go ahead and give you some journal prompts that will get your brain flowing, get you into the self-discovery mode, the productive mode of being in tune with yourself. Then you can end this video and go journal. As well as, it's a really good idea to do end of the month journal prompts. So that could be something like, what is a habit that I did this month that I'm really proud of and I want to repeat for the next month? Or what is one thing that I could probably stop doing this month that would make me feel better for the next months to come? If you had a specific goal, you could journal about that. Or if you want to make a goal for the next month, you could journal about that. Journal prompts that I love. What are 5 traits that you had as a child that you loved? What is one small thing you can add in your day to make it better, or one small thing you can take away from your day to make it better? When and where do you feel the most connected to yourself? What is my most reoccurring feeling, and why do I think I feel that way? If money wasn't a thing, what would I do with my life? Or if I knew that I wouldn't fail, what dreams would I chase? You could write down a favorite memory that you've never written down before. You could describe a favorite happy place. It could be an imaginary place that you go to. What kind of people or things energize and uplift me? How do I define success and fulfillment? What gives life meaning? And super simple and yet super effective, what are 5, 10, 15 things that I'm grateful for? Okay, that is it for this video, but if you like morning walks or just hot girl walks in general, go ahead and look at this video, watch this video. It is something new, something different that I decided to try, and I really like it. I really like it. So let me know how you feel about this video. Let me know how you feel about this video, and until next time, bye.